Marjorie, quickly, get me the chief of police on the line. No, I need to speak to him, obviously. Whoever let those 3 people into my office, well, let me tell you, heads will roll. No, I know it's not your fault, Marjorie. It's one of the girls downstairs. Just get me Lawrence on the phone. Here, give me the receiver. Is that Lawrence Patterson? No, I want to speak to the chief of police. Well, then put me through to him at once. Yes, of course. My name's Dr. Withenshaw. No, that's all right. No, Marjorie, stay here. Lawrence, it's me, Withenshaw. Yes, no, I know I shouldn't be calling in office hours. I've got 3 individuals sent here by Alice Devereaux trying to find out about Professor Winter. No, he disappeared. What I'm saying is that the reputation of this establishment, who looked after your father through his illness, is now at risk of some exposure regarding certain practices that have been undertaken. No, I don't want to go into the details over the phone. Of course I'm alone. Yes, no, just Marjorie's here. She put the call through, yes. What's going on? Well, Alice Devereaux has sent 3 individuals to snoop around, asking about this Winter fellow. Well, I don't know what happened, but of course I signed off on whatever Anastasia Costes wanted. You met her at the party. She's so charming and intelligent, sophisticated. Well, I'm not saying that I wasn't a little soft on the issue. No, yes. I understand that isn't relevant to this point, but you met Carstairs and you know that she's brilliant. Anyway, that plan for the clinic that I'd suggested is never going to come through now since she's gone to Europe. I'm sorry, it's thrown me. This man Bunyan is in there. You know that name? Allagash Bunyan. Yes, that's right. Who is this fellow? Oh, is that right? I see. The others? There was a female postmaster by the name of Rilyover. She seems to know a good deal about what's being ordered in or what isn't being ordered. You're familiar with her name, too. I'm sure you are, yes. A man named Charles Lohman, an assistant professor at the university. Well, that's why I let them in. I thought that they were here because of the ball. Well, look, can't you at least send some of your men down here to back things up? I'm worried that this man Bunyan's going to cause trouble. I know that we've done nothing wrong, technically, but, well, they've spooked me, that's all I'm saying. You know that everything wasn't exactly above board, and we agreed to make it happen in order to, well, establish a better mental health foundation here in the city. So as a result, we cut some corners. Yes, no, I understand. No, of course. I've been hasty. I see that now. Wait, I think someone's coming in. Look, just send me a couple of men in plain clothes, for goodness sake. Well, yes, anyway, that will be all. I'll have to go now because, one of my clients has arrived. Yes, thank you.
The Apocalypse Players present The House in the Woods by Gary Pilkington. A Call of Cthulhu scenario, adapted for 7th edition by Joseph Chant. Copyright Grenadier Models and Chaosium. Starring Dan Wheeler as Assistant Professor Flight Lieutenant Charles Chuck Lohman. Jeany Spark as Female Postmaster Natasha Rolyova. Danann McAleer as Local Lobster Mogul and Supplier Allagash Bunyan. And Joseph Chance as everybody and everything else.
Why don't we make a brief pause in Bangor?
Yeah.
One of us, maybe we could split up.
Yeah, I'll get us some sandwiches while you guys look up the relevant info.
Mr. Bunyan, you're always thinking about your stomach. Always.
What can I say?
I don't want to tell anyone what they should be doing, but if we're thinking that maybe we want to check out the public library, the police station, and Winter's apartment.
Yeah,
I think it would be prudent.
That our skills might best be. I know my way around the library.
I think you're right.
And
Buster.
And it strikes me that maybe I'm learning a bit more about you, Miss Rulyova, and it appears to me you have more skills than someone might expect from a female postmaster.
Oh.
Maybe you know, maybe you know how to investigate an abandoned apartment. Perhaps, Mr. Bunyan, there, you appear to have some connections in town.
Oh, yeah.
Might be you could find a police officer whose family you have some connections with.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Flight lieutenant, it is a good division of labor.
Well, I did spend some time in the military. I was a commissioned officer. I do understand how to split my team effectively. Anyway, thank you
and
for
your
your
infinities.
compliment.
Give me an English check for that.
Exceptionally good.
Exceptionally good English.
I'm going to do an English test. I got basically an extreme success, and he's bowled over by Natasha's observation of his
Split infinity.
his
I'm going to
grammar.
do an English test. I don't
Have you
understand
rolled your
what's
English?
going on.
Rulyova, you have to roll your English. You're the one who's actually struggling with the skill.
Oh! I rolled.
I got a
Or is it
47
100?
or
Is
45.
it 0, 0, 0, 0,
0, 0, 0, 0.
Oh no!
So
That's really disappointed me.
From now until the end of the game, you can't speak English.
you become chronically paranoid about the concept of split infinitives as they laugh, the two of them, and they look like they're congratulating you, but you feel weirdly paranoid about it, as if they're saying, "Oh, you've got that wrong." So then you begin to start to just doubt. And can you lose one English for me? So you're now on 50. Just because of the sheer doubt that goes through your mind about verbs and their irregular uses.
That is properly horrible. I hate that.
I hate all of this.
Okay, so we are going to go, I think we'll go in this order. We'll go library first. Give us your library check. Bangor Public Library.
Right now,
Yes, please.
that's a regular success.
That's
I could
good.
spend some luck if you wanted it to be a hard.
Oh, for a penny.
How much luck would you have to
I'd
spend?
have to spend 8 luck.
No, that's a lot. No, I'll give you. It was a good regular success.
Yeah, it's a good regular
What
success.
are you looking up? That's more. It's more the question is how inclusive are you or exclusive are you?
Oh, that's
That's a tricky one, isn't it?
a tricky one. So I'm gonna, if it's all right with you, I'm gonna roll an idea roll to see what I'm looking up.
I love it.
Is that fair?
Yep.
And I have rolled an extreme success on my idea roll. So I've got this brilliant idea of what I'm going to look up. I've rolled a 0-2 on a 70. Yes.
Well played. Okay, so obviously there's some names. Carrington was the name that was mentioned by Natasha Rulyova, which makes you think the Carstairs family, right? So you're going to look at the Carstairs family?
I think I am.
I'll give you that one for free.
I'm definitely going to look at that.
Winter himself is an archaeologist interested in some areas. And then, of course, there's sort of the general cuttings room. But because you've done that excellent idea roll combined with that good library roll of yours...
I think specifically if I'm looking for anything specifically, it's I've been intrigued by Carstairs, her family, the property, what the deal is with Carstairs and the whole Carstairs family and their property and their history.
So Carstairs is what we'll work with. So you settle down into the public records section of the stacks, and there's some very lovely mahogany tables laid out with chairs either side. There's high green lanterns that throw a warm yellow light down onto the centre of the desk. There's brilliant sunlight on one side of the building, and then these reaching storm shadows from the other side of the building. And you get this real sensation of being in a place of education and deep learning, that Alexandrian dream of the Ivy College elite has reached here, and the university is proud of this public library and co-funds it. So you have access to quite a lot of genealogical data, and you begin to do the Chuck Lohman thing and scroll through all of this stuff on Carstairs. So we'll come back to you after we've gone to the police station.
Hey, Sergeant.
What can I do for you, lad? What can I do for you? Oh, if it isn't you, Allagash. How are you doing there, Allagash?
It is me.
It is you, isn't it? It's one of those beautiful Oliver Stone-esque cutscene sequences where we cut back with some particularly sexy dramatic music to the hunched figure of Chuck Lohman there, his eyes almost feverish with the anticipation of discovery about the mysteries of Anastasia Carstairs and her family. And then,
well, I introduced myself to the officers at the front desk. It's like that bit in Ocean's 11 where, like, one of them's doing the actual heist and one of them's just buttering up the guards on the other.
Exactly, the buttering up of the guards, the sheer charm on show. We've got Rulyova walking down the street towards the apartment, checking out the alleyways as she passes, remembering, of course, that Alice Devereaux was potentially observed at this apartment.
Sick.
So I think we cut back to Chuck Lohman in the library, and you do find some periodicals and journals that mention both Carrington Carstairs and Anastasia Carstairs. Carrington Carstairs was a reclusive... Take notes, guys. Carrington Carstairs was a reclusive landowner up on the Sebois... Land Rover. Up on the Sebois plantation. That's in Penobscot County. Sebois is spelled Sebois. Sebois Plantation, Penobscot County. In 1866, he sought to purchase a large tract of land from the Narragansett at some expense. At the time, he was considered youthfully foolish to have done so. Just 3 years later, this land was sold to the railroad for an even more considerable sum. Carstairs became wealthy from this and built his Sebois estate, also purchasing a hunting lodge on the border of sacred Narragansett land. People in Mattawamkeag and Sebois still say, "Lucky as old Carrington." Dr. Anastasia Carstairs graduated Harvard in 1911 as an honorary degree in medicine. She was born in Boston and her parents are both dead. She has no other living direct family but is related to the Sebois Plantation Carstairs, being Carrington Carstairs' grandniece. Her thesis, "The Teeth of the Mind," is only available at Harvard University.
Oh, she's clearly insane.
Yeah. And I'll come back to your second discovery, Lohman, in a bit after we seamlessly cross over to the police station.
Anyone with a thesis called "The Teeth of the Mind" must be watched.
That's my middle name.
By the authorities, yeah.
Well, what can I do for you today then, Mr. Bunyan?
Hey, how are you? I was wondering what info you had on a couple of names, a couple of addresses. How's Cherie? How's Cherie Blair?
Cherie's lovely. She's absolutely she's grand. She's the boys, the twins are magnificent, and we Sinead's a chip off the old block. The other day she said she wanted to be a doctor to me. I couldn't have been happier.
Did she?
It's busy here. It's busy here, Mr. Bunyan. What can I do for you?
Well, all that in mind, just direct me towards the old looker-upper, what do you call it, the thingamagram, where you look up the places and the people.
What are you talking about? That's what I am.
Yeah, well, quite. But I don't want to distract you from your work.
No, I'm here to help you. Come on, you gave us the test.
Oh, well, come on then, come on. I'll give you the next blue that I find. I'm after Carstairs. I'm after Carstairs. I'm after Carrington. I'm after Winters. I'm after all these.
The Winter case. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know
the missing persons case. Well, I can't say that we have much to offer. We called it into the Mattawamkeag. Longfellow's a good man. But
of course.
he seemed to think that it was a university matter. We were willing to send a patrol car up there, but he said, why don't we give that lot up there? You know, they get awfully hoity-toity about this sort of thing.
No, of course they do, of course they do. So there's nothing you can offer me at all?
No, that depends on what you might have on offer for me.
Well, now listen, Jimmy. That's his name, right?
That is indeed.
Yeah.
Jimmy Gannon.
Now listen, Jimmy.
Jimmy Gannon, son
Jimmy
of
O'Brien.
James. Jimmy Gannon, son of James.
Listen, it's always a pleasure, Jimmy. Now, I've a favour to do for a friend here. You've a favour to do for a friend here. I'm not mocking your accent, I'm just copying it because I'm so, I'm that sort of person. But here we are. And that's better. I'm back to my normal self. Here we are. Sorry. Jimmy says, fuck off. No.
Jimmy's loving it.
Listen, all I need is, hey, man, all I need is a little bit of info, Hey, and your family you'll be having Thermidor for the rest of the month. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the only thing I've got, you want to know about the area?
Yeah, like the Carringtons, the Winters case.
Well, they've not.
I'm looking for stuff on the Costairs.
Isn't there an old saying about being as lucky as a Carrington or something like that?
Yeah.
Now,
I remember
he
that.
says it. You remember that too.
Lucky as a Carrington. I remember hey, you see this scar?
Well,
yeah, that's when I was lucky as a Carrington.
I'll go and look
you
at
should
the
have seen the
files.
claws.
Look,
you should have seen
if
the
anybody
claws
comes
in
in,
that
if
motherfucker.
anybody comes in, you'll have to take it. All right. Well, I'm only kidding.
Yeah,
I'm only
of
kidding.
course,
I'm only
of
kidding.
course.
But don't arrest anybody. You can't put anybody in.
You're a good man, Jimmy.
Can't put them in any cells. They're all full. All right.
Yeah,
and he pops
I bet.
back. He pops back.
So I'll tell them to behave themselves.
After a minute, I'm not even going to make you do your social skill. Actually, yeah, go and roll
I'll
your...
do a persuade if you
What
want.
was it? Persuade. Roll. Give us your persuade roll.
My persuade's the one I put most into. If it doesn't pay off now, we're all fucked. Wait, where's P in the alphabet? Oh yeah, 16. Okay, yeah, I succeed, but not. It's not a hard success. It's like 57 on a 60. So.
No, look.
It's my life.
There's this. It's actually from the newspaper, The Bugle. It's from way back.
Right.
But it says everything that our report would have said at the time.
Ah, cheers, Jimmy. That means a lot. You sure there's nothing else? Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
I'd speak to the fellow Longfellow. Speak to that chap Longfellow up at Mattawamkey.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Good man. Good man. Here, enjoy the Thermidor. Yeah, I'll see you down the docks. I want to flip the newspaper open and start reading as I leave the room.
It's just a cutting.
Well, I want to flip the cutting open. So, squatters abandon land. Oh wait, squatters abandon Carstairs land. The Bugle, July 7th, 1904. 2 landless families have abandoned the old Indian grounds northwest of Madalawamakeg off the Carstairs estate. The Kaczynskis and the Roaches are no fixed abode. Both families known in the vicinity despite no land rents charged have been presumed driven off the land by destitution. Homes and horse-drawn vehicles were left tidy but abandoned, though some had suffered badly in the damp summer conditions of recent months. No livestock were found. The police have demolished all the remaining shanty houses at the order of Carrington Carstairs. No foul play is suspected.
So we cut back to the library, and there's a reason why we're coming back to Rulyova last.
Yeah.
You're having a little dig around, and you're thinking, yeah. What about just the general cuttings? And you go to the cuttings, and it's laborious work, and you spend 10 more minutes than you really intended.
Always the way. It's that microfiche.
But you find something. You find this.
Find this.
What is it?
What is it? What's in the box?
What's in the
What's
box?
in the box?
What's in the
What's in the box?
I'll tell you what I find. I find this. It says, cow jumps the moon. Local man swears blind it wasn't the old remedy. Ezekiel Cappy Captain, a resident of Mattawamkeag, Maine, claims he saw a flying cow on the night of July 5th, 1924. Known to the local residents as Cappy, he said it wasn't the first night he'd seen a cow flying across the sky. I know them city folks will think I'm crazy, but I know what I see out there. It were a cow with wings, flying through the air just as plain as can be. Another local resident, Mrs. Edwina Fumaker, said the local people like Cappy. He's really harmless, but he drinks a bit too much of his special bathtub remedy and gets to seeing all sorts of things. While last year he said he saw a tree walking through the forest. We're not at all surprised to hear he saw a flying cow.
I hate that.
Could you roll sanity for me?
I really don't like that. As me.
I passed my sanity.
Tree shouldn't be.
I mean, obviously, it's just the talk of a madman, right? It's just the talk of a man who drinks too much bathtub gin.
Don't encourage it, Mary.
But it's weird that it should be about something...
Something that he sees in the sky.
Yeah, it makes you feel very uncomfortable.
It makes me feel a little bit queasy, but it's a flying cow. I mean, that's just that's classic, like, hallucinations from drinking bathtub hooch. That's a hallucination. That's almost a textbook crazy hallucination. So
No.
I'm fine. That's fine. It's just a bit weird that it's something he saw in the sky. Freaks me out a bit.
I imagine I definitely know Ezekiel.
I don't...
Cappy.
But that's...
It's a big county.
Maybe not.
But there's people like Ezekiel Captain around.
Whose
You know the
bathtub is he
type.
brewing in?
Exactly,
Quite.
and how much. But that does bring
Right.
us to Rulyova. You make your way to the apartment. And it's easy enough to...
Yes.
You just dash in behind someone else who's going in through the main door.
Yep.
Head your way up the stairs. The name is still on the chit in the foyer. You even smile at the porter. Go up to the apartment, and you were careful about coming in. Nobody seemed to be following you. Nobody seemed to be watching, as far as you could tell. Now, could you give me a locksmith roll? You've got plenty of time, so I'm going to give you a bonus die.
Sweet Jesus. Okay. Very good. Just failed. Just failed by
By how
2
much?
points.
By 2 points. Well, you can either spend the luck, or you can take quite a lot longer.
I'll spend the luck.
Yeah, spend 2 luck, and you pass,
Yeah,
and you
spend
get
2
in,
luck.
and it's all quite swift and smooth.
Nice.
So you give this place a really good going over. There's one thing is abundantly clear. He cleared out a whole load of papers. There's exactly where papers should have been, and it's all just been taken out.
Yeah.
Retrospectively, I should add that Devereaux did say that he'd said that he was going to take some work with him up to the cabin to truly create the sense of engaging with, confronting his fears. In the real teeth of it was the expression that he used. And you're just making your way for the 3rd time around the apartment, and every time your eye is taken by through the shutters as the last of the lights coming through, and it's got this really weird side light. It's about 4:30 now, so it's got this kind of heavy sun, this heavy summer, late sun that comes at the side, doesn't it? And it's getting this really kind of intense noir lighting. There's this black cloud.
I know it's coming.
Very close. And you're thinking, am I going to see something out there? There's going to be somebody watching, and there's nobody out the window. But as your eyes sort of focus on that kind of attention to detail, could you give me a spot hidden check?
Fail.
Fail. So there's
Quite
three.
bad fail.
How about? Is it over 95?
No, 81.
81. That's fine. There's 3 areas of interest. There's the desk. There's the telephone area, and there's the fireplace. You're getting a bit angsty. You don't want to stay too long because there's other apartments and people can be heard. And although you're sneaking around, you could check all of them with a sneak check, or you could do one really quickly and then get out of here.
I think I'll check the fireplace really quickly.
Yep. And you can still have a decision. The other 2 of you are probably going to be heading back to the car, where you've agreed to all meet back at the car, which is sort of semi-equidistant point where you've parked up. Because it's all kind of nicely, tightly in town with these small cities. Could you give me a spot hidden check in the fireplace?
Yeah, quite a strong pass.
Yeah, there's
22.
some fine paper has been burned in the fireplace. It's not. There are notes.
It's not kindling.
It's not kindling. You've seen papers burned before, haven't you?
I don't know what you mean.
On the exit.
I deny it. I
On the
deny
exit
it.
out
I
of
deny everything.
out of Russia. Maybe did you hold some papers in your hand at one stage that were very precious to you, and then you saw them burning and dropped them? And you have little.
I saw many things in Petrograd.
Yeah. So you have a moment where you're thinking about what did he do? What did he burn it? And you look around the room again one last time. Now you could dash over to one of the other 2, or you could give me a stealth check.
Do a stealth check. Yes, good.
Okay. Which one are you going to go to? And you'll do it stealthily.
The telephone.
Give me a spot hidden check.
Fail.
By how much?
75 on the 60.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anywhere around this particular area? So there's a chair by the telephone. There's a pad. There's a mirror. There's a picture of a 19th century picture opposite it. This is that sort of area. Is there anything you want to look at? The picture, the mirror, the chair, the pad, or the telephone itself?
I think I'd like to look at the pad and maybe if there's a pencil nearby, just sort of rub over the top of the page.
Inspired.
See if there's any indentations of previous notes. Okay.
So
Let's see
you're
what this leads.
so you're scraping away on the thing, and at first you're thinking you're getting nothing, and then there they are. The last notes made by the telephone, and they look to you. You see Matawamkeag. You see northeast 2 miles. You see past the Captain place.
Oh, nice.
You see take the left fork, left then right, and you reckon you've got the directions. And you look up,
Yeah.
and there's a man there in a summer coat and a hat, looking through the window. From he's 50 yards away on the other side of the street, probably 60 yards away.
Blech.
But he's looking through the window.
And his collar's up, and you can't make out his face.
Horrible.
There's something odd about it.
But if the light outside is bright, if it's bright late afternoon, and didn't you say there were shutters, there were slats,
Yeah,
Venetian blind maybe?
yeah.
Can he see me?
He seems to be looking at you,
Okay.
but obviously that's madness. He can't see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's blinds, that's much more horrible.
He won't be able to see me. He might see a person, but he
You,
wouldn't see
you
it.
reassure yourself that he can't see you, right? It's odd that he seems to be looking straight at you,
Can't see me.
but you can't make
see
out
me.
his.
He can't see me.
I'm out.
Oh. Okay. I'm nervous now. I'm sweating. My heart's going a bit. Have I got time to check the desk, or is it time to go?
I mean, you can check the desk if you want to.
I feel like we have the address. I'm not sure
We're
what else we would gain.
You're not getting a strong inclination there's much else here.
Cool.
back
Let's
at
get
the
out.
car. If this is simultaneous, back at the car, can
Yeah.
I do a spot hidden, or is it?
You don't have a view of the street
Okay.
that she's on.
I
She's
just
2
wanted
streets
to check.
parallel.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Fuck.
But you're back at the car first, notably,
Yeah.
and a
Hey,
somewhat.
Buster! Hey, buddy.
A somewhat anxious Chuck Lohman returns, really dashing again.
Hey, you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. Why'd you ask?
Because you look like someone's shatting your cornflakes.
At that point, you
No,
both hear a peal of thunder.
Jesus Christ.
I jump a little bit and I say, no, I could see that there's a storm coming in. I wanted to get in the cars.
Yeah.
This pomade in my hair won't hold in
Yeah. No,
human,
I get you.
human conditions.
Here, Buster. Hey, it's Chuck. It's Chuck. Look, it's Chuck. And I get him all excited and make him follow you into the car. But I stay with the door open, even as the rain starts to pelt down. I'm just looking around for Natasha to see if I can see her.
Say, close the door. These are the leather seats.
Yeah, in a minute. I'm just going to take the air. I've got not a great feeling about this suddenly, so...
Got a bad feeling about this.
I also think this is probably the first time me and Natasha, whatever our dealings with Alice have been, this is probably the first time we've been called together on any sort of thing. And obviously it means a lot to Alice on a personal level. That was clear. But at the same time, the skill set she seems to be trying to build here
Must mean something.
I think, yeah, it means something, and it means something not good. So I'm slightly on edge, and I'm just waiting outside the car, trying to look for Natasha.
As you're leaving, Natasha, with the speed of your silent run across, you notice a newspaper article has fallen and tucked itself under a rug at an odd angle. It's just kind of freakishly, and you cut back to it and pick it up, but you're focused on getting out because you think you can hear someone on the steps, and you close the door. I think it's fair to say you take the risk of not locking it.
Yeah.
And a little old lady comes up and goes, "Oh, hello, dear," and walks past, and you walk past, and you're going down the steps, and you come out of the entrance of the building, ready to run, but there's no one there. There's no one on the other side. There's no one on the other side of the street. You have an article.
Meghan Markle names child after Cthulhu entity. Something like that. Always is.
Hopefully not.
I mean, yeah, hopefully not. To be fair.
You get the impression that this fell out of. It fell out in a hurry.
Just like me. This is my mother used to tell me.
You fell out in a hurry, didn't you?
You fell out in a hurry.
Still, yeah.
I barely noticed you were gone.
It's like that scene from Meaning of Life.
Oh, yeah.
Pick that up for me, what'd you do?
By perfume.
Oh, great reference. Yeah, the opening of the book, isn't it? It's just like that. It's like finding a baby on the floor. Oh, no, but seriously, you find a piece of paper. You have an image of Dr. Winter, Professor Winter, rushing out of the door with such a passion, such a zeal to get into the teeth of his recovery, the teeth of his mind, that perhaps one of these cuttings flies free from the folder. And it says this: Mattawamkee Chronicle, 12th of March, 1866. Indian ground sold. Mr. Carrington Carstairs of the illustrious Sebois Plantation family has bought the Western Lake Trail lands from the Penobscot River Trail to Matasank Lake. The seller of the land has been listed as Daniel Makapitu, chief of the Algonquin Matasank people. The land is being sold to Carrington Carstairs in exchange for rights to sacred territory north of the lake, with the understanding the remaining Indian lands will be preserved by the state. Chief Makapitu was legally aided in the transfer of land by Quebecois independent Mr. Tristan Lasalle. The sale of the land was recorded as $1,450. This remarkable figure is a landmark sum for an Indian sale in the county of Penobscot, and indeed the state of Maine. Mayor Turlbridge declined to comment, but a state representative said Monsieur LaSalle was most persuasive and Mr. Carrington very happy with his purchase. Mr. Carrington states that he intends to use the land for future development purposes.
Never trust a man named Daniel.
As you get to the car, the others are there Rain starts to come down in thick, heavy drops, but the sun's still shining.
I think as you arrive, Allagash sort of opens the door and he says, "After you," and you suddenly remember that for all his bluster and all his threats in the place, he is essentially a mid-60s bloke. He's not, he's a bit old school.
Mid-60s, yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh. Crocodile Dundee. He's like Crocodile.
Yeah, he's very much like
Dundee.
Paul. What's his name? Yeah, he wants to be seen as the outdoorsman, but there's a bit of tragedy to that. There's an element of tragedy to it in a sense. But he sort of lets you in first and sort of jumps in the back with Buster, and he's just playing with Buster. And he says, "So, where to next, fellas?"
Well, I can tell you exactly where we're going.
Oh yes.
And she reads the address. Has she taken the sheet of paper?
I assumed you'd taken the instructions.
She's ripped it off. She's sticked it over it.
Yeah. With
the address for the lodge.
The house in the woods. Presumably, Chuck Lohman is driving, and he's looking at these heavy, massive clouds above, feeling the oppressive power of this rain. As you can really smell the tarmac. You can smell that.
What is it? Petrichor.
Yeah, petrichor. That's the one.
One of my favourite words and smells.
It lifts all of your senses. And of course, you've got the windows down because it's really hot anyway. And it's really just you can see the rain coming, but it's going over as fast as it's coming. But people are running for cover, and you begin to pull out, and you're heading to the cabin, the house in the woods. You're heading to the house in the woods. And
Evil Dead style.
It's just as you pass the corner of Union Street heading onto Penobscot Avenue. You see the one person who isn't running. It's like tallish, but he's sort of sloped slightly down at one shoulder, and his collar's up. He's got a broad brim hat. He's just stood there in the rain. It's just pelting down on him, and his summer coat is getting darker and darker, staining down through the soft fabric. As if,
Can I ask a brief question about this man?
yeah.
Can we see is it obvious it's a man?
Is he single?
What are you asking?
Is he fit? Just in
Are you saying you think that he might not?
I'm asking. I'm not asking whether he might not be human. I'm asking whether this is a male figure, or whether I'm assuming it's a male figure because of the way it's dressed, or whether I can see enough of the face to be sure that it's a man.
Give me a spot hidden check.
My spot hidden is very poor, but I've passed my spot hidden.
Yeah, there's something off about this. It's not. You're pretty sure it's not a woman. It's certainly not a young woman.
John Merrick in an
He's not a. And then you have a moment. You have a moment to decide. Are you going to carry on looking, or are you going to look away and drive?
Oh.
I'm going to look away and drive.
It's the right decision, I think.
At this stage of the proceedings, I think that was the right decision. And you drive on.
Yeah.
You can't help but check. All three of you can't, because you all spotted this figure. You can't help but check in the mirrors. And when you look back behind, after what you think is only a couple of seconds, although it's sometimes hard to tell when a storm is sweeping over, there's no one there.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Oh, that's horrible.
If it's all right with you, I'd love to rejoin things at the point where the car is pulled up by Professor Lohman outside of the hardware store on the way out of town. He's going to go in, purchase a handgun and a number of rounds for it, because he had asked to do that.
Yes.
As you get out, Lohman, and run through the last dregs, because it's just spitting. It's just it's a wee mizzle there. You find yourself dashing between car and building, with the certainty of the slick pavement underneath you, i.e., a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
That you might go for a tumble, but you're fine. And there's the comforting sound of the bell as you go in. Allagash, I'm sure you're studying the mirror and indeed the street.
Ah, yeah.
Because of the appearance of the strange man,
Or woman, or individual, or person, that this person was watching you.
Natasha Rulyova, could you give me a spot hidden check? Just you, for now.
42 on a 60.
Oof.
So you're looking around, and there's quite a group of people who are sort of hiding underneath the awning of the hardware store, and there's a shop boy who's been bringing things in under the awning, and there's kind of a whole group of people. There's about 15 people there. Allagash is on watch. Everything's fine with him, and right at the back, you see a very tall man with very long dark hair, and he just turns to look at you. And your rational mind tells you this is just an echo. Something's been triggered by seeing that figure watching you in the rain, and it unsettling you. But could you roll your occult for me?
A success.
Oh, yeah.
Your occult works, and you recognize that it is him. It is the advisor. It is the monk.
But
And
it
and
cannot be.
It is impossible. But he's standing there,
Impossible.
and his eyes are burning in that way that they used to do in the salons.
It is impossible.
And then the boy brings up a whole stack of umbrellas, and a kindly pedestrian helps him with the last of it. And the last of the rain finishes, and they all start to just kind of scatter out like a group of extras in a perfectly orchestrated film scene. And Rasputin is not there, but you could swear that you saw him looking at you with those burning eyes and over distance. And because you passed your occult, there was a rumour, right at the end, there was a rumour that he'd said to a close confidant of yours that he could pass the power on to live beyond death, and not in the context of being in the heaven of the Christian heaven. But you keep that to yourself.
Duh.
Which gun are you buying, Charles Lohman?
I'm after.
The 45?
Yeah, I'm definitely after 45. Maybe they got a Colt or a Webley, something something reliable.
Roll luck.
Why is my luck so bad?
These are the questions.
Why is my luck always so bad? Oh, yeah, I failed it.
Yeah, so they only have the Colt, no Webleys.
Okay. I'll take a Colt.
Yeah. How many packs do you want of ammunition for that, sir?
I don't know. Let's take a look at what I got in my. Hang on, where am I from? I'm from Oklahoma. Well, just take a look at how much readies I got. So, how much a box of shells for that thing?
We got them on offer. So that's I guess it's $129 for 6. So that's we got 6 sixes. You get that for $5.
Your mathematics is worse than mine, sir.
No, it's on offer. It's on offer. That's why I made it an offer.
I see.
Because I know
and
that
the
my
revolver
maths isn't so
itself
good.
is.
Is that your car? Is that your car out there?
That is my car out there. Yeah.
Okay, just checking because I wanted to use the word car.
Right. Try and set yourself
it's not
some
that
kind of locale.
far.
Right. I'll take two boxes.
Sure thing. You want those wrapped?
No, I'll just.
Is it for you or is it for your lady wife?
That's good. No, I keep forgetting where I'm from. I'll just take them unwrapped. I put them in my pockets.
He gives you the gun and the ammunition. And he says, "Oh, sir, I gotta take your name."
Oh, it's Sloman.
You purchased that, sure. Okay, thank you very much, sir. And out you go, unless there's anything else. But, you go past the usual assortment of 10-foot poles, coiled ropes of 30 feet, some caltrops,
Grappling hook.
2 grappling hooks, and some anti-beholder juice.
I might just
Some powder of
Say
Ibn,
there.
powder of Ibn
Say
Ghazi
there.
on the high shelf.
You got a basic first aid kit there?
We sure have.
I'll take one of them.
It's got a 5-star rating.
Well, that's good to hear. I'll take a first aid kit.
So your credit rating is
It's not great. 20.
Yeah, you do not want to be making any more purchases today.
No, well, I've got a feeling I won't be.
Yeah. Although, these are desperate times. You head back to the car. Are you still driving?
I'm comfortable when I'm driving.
Could both Allagash and Flight Lieutenant Assistant Professor Charles Lohman give me spot hidden checks?
Yeah.
Rolls, I should say.
No, I can't see a thing. The
success.
Wipers ain't working, and so.
Oh wait, that wasn't me, was it?
It was both of us.
Both of you, yeah, both of you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got a 37 on a 55.
So you've noticed that during this time, Natasha Rulyova has become very pale and is instead of scanning around like she was before, she's just sort of focused on one point. And you look, and there's a group of people walking away, and just for a split second, you think you see a very tall man with very long hair go down an alleyway. And unfortunately, that's what starts it, Allagash. Because once Flight Lieutenant Assistant Professor Charles Lohman drives away, the old Bunyan instincts start to pick up. And just when you're about to relax a bit more, and you've started only like a couple of stories about difficult local theatre companies.
I saw a crayfish bigger than a lobster and a lobster bigger than a crayfish.
Of course.
And this one time we was out in the river, there was an electric eel there, and I don't know how to tell you it got there, but there must be some local collector, or that's all going away as I'm.
Yeah.
Sort
of as you spot, you spot the same car come back into view a third time.
Behind us.
Yeah. And your instincts start to go.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure, you can't be 100% certain, but you're pretty sure it's following you.
Right. You only got to be pretty sure in this business.
Yeah. Could you give me a power check? For a power roll?
I'd be happy to.
And how well you do does make a difference.
Shit. Well, I got a 50 on a 60.
Solid. Okay, you're fine. You're jumpy. You're jumpy. The story drifts a bit, but you pull the story back.
Yeah. But I ain't forgetting about that. That's not some glitch. There's someone following us. As far as I'm concerned.
Can I see that he's jumpy?
Your spot hidden is going to last throughout that period, but don't worry, we're not over yet with the journey.
Fine.
You're focused, possibly because it's cost you a little bit to kind of duck in and out of the car, but now I'm going to say that you and Natasha have got over your slight jitters, whereas perhaps Allagash is entering into his jitters for the first time.
Is there could I ask, as we drive on, I'm asking you, Michael, Joseph, Chant.
Yeah.
Is there, is there like a sort of fishing cafe around here that might be en route, or somewhere where people sort of stop off in their car to fish, or that sort of thing?
So could you be very specific about what it is you're looking for?
I mean, we're on our way out of town, right? Have we decided that, or have we?
Yeah. You were headed up to Matawanka.
Yeah. This is what I thought. But in my knowledge of the local area, which is pretty good, is there anywhere that's sort of a known fishing hole that might have, say, a cafe or some sort of bar above it? Anywhere we could maybe stop just to see if this fucking guy tailing us goes past or carries on or what?
You are going to follow the river up for a fair bit, so there's a couple of those such places. The closest one in Bangor, they know you well. The second one is a little bit more of a kind of dive. It's passing traffic. You get a lot of people driving trucks, stopping off there too. It's a bit more of a mix. You might be lucky to see some of your boys there.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'll just keep an eye out the back, and we won't stop unless I see that car again. But I'm really, I'm gonna say to Logan, I'm gonna say, Lohman, don't press the gas. Drive slow. I want to make sure we got enough for a return journey.
Sure thing, Allagash. I always drive responsibly. There ain't gonna be a problem there.
Excellent. But I'm just basically, as subtly as I can, which probably isn't very subtly, I'm going to be really looking out for this car again.
I think it's fair to say there's probably a gas station near to that cafe as well. The second one.
Yeah.
So it's a couple of hours drive up to Matawanka.
Get some boiled sweets. I pass out my boiled sweets in the tin.
You've been asked to put your foot down. How much are you putting your foot down?
Oh no, he's asked me not
no.
to put my
Oh,
foot
not
down.
to put your foot down. Oh, sorry. Apologies.
Because I want to see if we can catch these bastards coming up behind.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's perfect. Which
Because
means
this is what they do. They wait for you to turn a corner, and then they speed at the last minute to catch the last glimpse of you. Well, I want to catch them catching the last glimpse.
Is it openly? So it's openly shared with the others that you're a bit cautious there might be someone following.
No, I didn't. No, it might be obvious by the way I'm acting, but yeah. I just said, hey, we don't want to waste the gas. You know, go slow. It's picturesque. It's picturesque.
Yeah. At the moment, I think it's fair to say. Well, give me an idea roll, you two, just to keep your dice hot, warm. So that's your intelligence.
That's a just a pass for me.
I'll take one for Natasha as well. Jeany. The lower the better.
Fail, I'm afraid.
Did anyone roll a 95 to 100? No. Okay, we're good. So you're carrying on. The weather, you notice, is holding its strange line, almost kind of on the road as the boundary, and it begins to become to feel a little bit fated as you're going further up the road. The traffic lessens, the road opens up.
So is this you're saying that on one side of the road it's like pissing it down, on the other side of the road it's actually quite clear?
Yeah, so from the river onwards down to the coast there's heavy black clouds. You can see the storm is chasing up sort of almost alongside you.
See, that's good lobstering down there.
And
I
so
hope the boys are getting the catches in.
Think of the whoppers they're getting in, yeah.
if anyone has any tracking skill, they could use that with a bonus die. I mean, everybody starts with some, or you could roll an idea check.
My track's better than the starting, but it's still not great. Let's have a look. With a bonus die, you say?
Yeah, bonus die for tracking.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, it's not so much about
I'm
seeing.
too focused.
It's you're not thinking like a tracker right now.
I am seeing something.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it occurs to you that if the sheriff went up there in the last couple of days, it hasn't rained for a week. It's been a dry, hot spell of summer, and as far as you're aware, the storm is sort of behind you and to your right, and Matawamkeg is ahead of you and just off to the left. So there could be tracks. Would she share that with the group?
Tracks.
There could be tracks up at the house.
When we finally get there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Do you mean as in if we
There's
get there before the storm?
Yeah, but the storm potentially creates a little bit of a because it's heading up north and it could veer in at any time. You know.
I think I might. I mean, I do think that Flight Lieutenant Assistant Professor Charles Loman is driving incredibly slowly, like an old woman from the motherland.
He was probably driving slowly already, and then I said, "Hey, ease off the pedal."
Oh, come on, mate. So I might say, I think I will mention it. I'll say, this storm is chasing us. If we can go a little faster, we may find more evidence at the house.
Well, now listen, Ms. Rulyova.
Mr. Flight Lieutenant.
I understand. I like to drive responsibly, but I understand. Now, we've got a bit of a disagreement here because Allagash has asked me to drive slow for whatever reason. You're now asking me to pick up the pace, so I suggest we come to some kind of compromise, and I will stick right to the limit. I will drive and I put my foot down just the tiniest bit, and now we're sort of going at basically a normal speed now.
Can I while that's happening, can I just check one last time? Have I seen any sign of this car following us since it last went past? I mean, I've seen it 3 times, so I'm pretty sure it's dubious, but...
Has it been going... I know I haven't seen it, but is it going like in front and then behind again, or is it going front and then... What's exactly...
it passed us last time, but have I seen it since I got a bit paranoid about it?
Give me a sanity roll.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a real car.
It's in a time loop.
24. Oh, 24.
That's good.
So that's
a pass.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You have been known to get a little over jumpy about the idea that crooks might be on your back.
Yeah.
And you're beginning to question whether maybe that third time maybe it was just a Ford and not the Bumbleberry 97.
Yeah, is that what it was?
I really need
97?
to learn more cars from the period.
Yeah.
Toyota
Yaris.
Another
Citroen Picasso.
Was it a Citroen Picasso?
So Nissan Qashqai.
Honda
Lovely.
Jazz.
Oh, we've been looking at the same family cars. I can tell.
Slow, comfortable jazz.
Is that a Peugeot 3008? Is
My
it
God,
the diesel?
it's a Tesla.
For those of you listening by radio, we edited this. 7 minutes later, the players rejoined after mentioning 61 cars. The moment where you're not 100% sure, you do just give one more look. Could you give me another spot hidden?
I'd love to. I'd really love to.
He really would.
Oh, is that good? Oh, okay. I'm 1 over, so I'm going to spend 1 luck.
Spend the luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think it's the same car. It just comes back in again.
Oh wait, sorry. No, I don't even need to spend the luck. I was 10 down.
Perfect.
No,
Perfect.
I see it.
It is the same car. But as you see it pulls off. And that's because you're just kind of leaving Bangor proper, if you know what I mean. Because it just stretches for ages. The county, I mean, is it counties? Yeah, the county line, right? The county line stretches for ages.
Yeah.
And
Bangor improper.
But you do think, aha, I wasn't crazy.
Yeah, that's good to know.
And you do think, yes, I am Allagash Bunyan.
That's also reassuring.
And you do
Can
think
I meet him 30 years ago?
And you do think I did kick up quite a lot of a fuss a couple of times. You know, maybe. Now you think about it, was that car even? Did you see it as you left the sanatorium?
It was outside. The last time I saw it was outside the gunsmiths with
Yeah. That's where they picked you up. But then maybe was it outside the
Willie
sanatorium?
Loman was buying his suicide tool.
I think all I'm trying to say is actions may have consequences. I liked it though.
Right,
I like
right,
it.
right.
I like it. So I hate that. I hate that. Matawamkeg. You make a rest stop. Unless anybody needs to do anything important at the rest stop. Cool their
Now that
air.
I saw the car again, I'm agreeing with Natalia. What was
Natasha.
Natasha, fuck me, I'm so sorry. I'm distracted by this car.
I will not fuck you.
I will not do that. But I'm just going to lean forward and go, hey, Loman, I think she was right. I enjoyed the creaks. Maybe just put your foot down a bit more, eh?
All right, I can try and pick up the pace a little bit, but first, when we're stopped, it's always best to check the oil. Check that sort of thing. So I flip the hood and I do a few basic checks.
Okay,
checking the dipstick, really methodically.
It all seems fine.
Fine.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I'll check this dipstick. I'm gonna fucking write a novel while you're here. Right, walk around the back.
I get back in and I set off again at a bit of a faster pace, but my foot's not at the floor. I take it. I don't want to drive so fast that you're going to make me do a drive roll. Put it that way.
Yeah. So you're at 29. You're at 29 miles an hour.
That's what you're praying.
Fine.
You've gone up to 29 now.
Dear God, don't make me do a drive roll.
It's moving around a bit. There's a bit of shaking at the back.
Yeah.
But you've all had some time in some cars, if you pardon the expression. Yeah. So you make it up to Matawamkeg borders. I'm going to ask you where you're headed. Into town is probably where you'll find the sheriff, or are you going to head straight on up with directions to the...
Well, is this the sheriff that's already said that he wanted us to have the opportunity, the university rather, to have the opportunity to take care of things before it got into the press? So
Sheriff Longfellow, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Sheriff Strider. He's so in a sense he's sort of given us some leeway here, so he's not disinclined to share information, perhaps. But in another sense, it sounds like maybe they've already passed on what they knew, and they're waiting for us to finish our investigation. So,
Say there,
useful.
Algash, and of course Ms. Rulyova. Do you think there's any need for us to go and speak to this Sheriff Longfellow? Or
I say no. We want to get to the cabin house before this rain comes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty.
I agree.
Thank you.
We don't need like 15 little blue men running around getting their boot prints all over the place, coming up with theories. Let's, the little blue men. They wear the things. I don't know.
And he says, Loman.
In my country, is a musical group.
Loman says, almost under his breath, rather have a bunch of blue men than a bunch of green men. And
I beg your pardon.
Can I do a listen roll?
Did you say something?
I think it's more of a luck roll, given the fact that you weren't in a position to listen.
Oh, right. Well, I rolled a 17.
17, yeah. So you hear something about...
Yeah, well, I'd rather be a green man than a yellow man.
Is this a musical group?
Who's too afraid to...
Also?
Yeah. They're all bands.
I do not understand American humor.
Yeah.
It's the jazz age.
Do I.
That's not funny to me.
Jazz humor.
Or me.
Jazz humor, exactly.
So
you drive.
All right, then.
You drive through the left-hand turn into town. Matawamkeg has a charming church at the centre, whitewashed. Several other houses around it, whitewashed in a colonial style. It's a little bit like going back in time, one of these quiet towns. Can't have more than 500 people in it, you'd think, even with the boom of the railroad. It's got quite a well-established station in now. Quite a lot of industrial train traffic goes through. But all that you feel is quite recent. Allagash, you'd know this very well. I think Charles would know it a little bit too. It's all new to you, Natasha. You've seen posts come through from Matawamkeg, obviously, and you know...
Yes. I have not been to this place before.
You know the postmaster up here is to be trusted.
Yes, Donald.
Donald, exactly.
Yes.
Donald
McDonald.
Donald McDonald, that's his name. A good fellow.
Big.
No, he's in a different part of Maine.
He's in a different... Oh, that guy. Different.
Mr.
Different.
Goodfellow, yes.
Not to be confused with Longfellow, presumably.
But the town quickly passes by. Could you roll luck if you're not driving?
Yeah. Failed.
Pass.
Natasha, as you... I think you must be on the left-hand side.
Pass the DB by the hip.
You look through the somewhat warped window, because it's not the best of cars, and you see what you think you recognise as a deputy sheriff's lawman's uniform, and a rather rat-faced man studying the car as you drive past, and he does that thing where he kind of tracks you with his head, and you think, oh, maybe looks nice on the surface, but maybe Matawamkeg not always so friendly to outsiders. A feeling that you've had many a time since moving to the Americas.
Duh.
You drive on, and you reach. So now you're in the hands of the information that you received from Winter's telephone pad. So you leave Matawamkeg behind, and perhaps some of its mysteries. But you're not that you're of one mind, but you've certainly kind of resolved that might have been a side investigation too many, and you're kind of conscious of this storm that's still brewing, and maybe the heavy rain back in Bangor left you slightly discombobulated as well, with its sort of sense of the speed of its approach and its disappearance. And actually, Assistant Professor Flight Lieutenant Charles Lohman, at the wheel as you are, you begin to gain a little bit of courage as you pull away from Matawamkeg, almost immediately, because the big sky that you know is just above this, let's face it, pretty flimsy roof in this car that gives you a bolster, doesn't it? It gives you enough to believe in, that there's something between you and the elements above.
That's right.
But then you start to see these trees, these big, old, classic North American trees. So it may not be Californian redwoods, but they're massive pines. They're hundreds of years old, some of them, and they start to just begin, almost like allies coming to your call. They begin to block out some of the horizon. You've got the mountains as well, which is sort of giving a kind of screen of comfort, and it starts to really embolden you. And could you actually give me a power check?
Yeah.
A roll against your power.
Of course, this is the trees are one of the reasons I moved to near Bangor.
And the comfort of the cabin that you live in.
Have some the comfort of the cabin in the woods. Have some defence from the sky. That's a regular success on my power.
Great. Well, that is the key. And you feel that your senses begin to heighten. And I think the other two of you begin to realise that he's driving with very smooth confidence now, and even picks up the pace a little bit more.
Still a little bit old lady-ish, but...
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's still being cautious, but the two of you begin to sense a change in him. And it's almost like all of you begin to pick up on it. Up ahead there are a number of lights coming on in cabins in the distance, and even a curl of smoke through in the trees. But you begin to realise also how sparsely populated it has become. So on the one hand there is this confidence building, and then on the other you begin to see that you really are in a very wild place. The old saying, west of Arkham the hills rise wild, and here too, northwest of Bangor, the hills are rising, rising up to the mountains. Crazy like.
Crazy like a hill.
You see that there's a sort of turn-off up ahead, according to Rulyova's directions. She's liaising with you about this throughout, if that's all right with you, Natasha.
No.
And just as you're clocking this turn-off, Lohman, could you give me a spot hidden check with a bonus? Because you've got this kind of slight... The other two of you are not so aware of this.
Because I guess I'm still... My eyes are flicking around.
And they're flicking upwards, as is their tendency, to sometimes just check the sky.
No, I'm afraid that's a fail, even with my bonus die.
Even with the bonus die, even the bonus.
Yeah.
So the sky that is free of the black clouds to the east takes on an extra sheen, and you begin to realise that there's an early moon. That some clouds are sort of really skitting over those very high, fast-moving clouds, sort of skitting over this crescent moon. And your eye just catches it as you're hitting the tree line proper, and you can see what looks like a large cabin that's been converted for retail purposes to a hardware store up ahead on the left. Go on, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, when you say an early moon, do you mean like a new moon, or do you mean like
no, as in it's early. It's early to see it, but because it's so clear up there.
Fine. But not unusually, not like.
No, it doesn't feel preternatural.
Fine, that's a relief.
You see something. But actually, as you're...
I spend
go on.
all of my luck to see what it is.
Stop spending your luck.
Well, I was
Jesus.
No,
No,
keep spending your luck.
Is that a Sasquatch? Look at the state on him. Hairy bastard.
You think he'd look after himself?
Yeah.
What else has he got to do?
Comb.
I was just going New York instead of Bangor, don't I?
Yeah, I know, likewise.
No, it was beautiful. It's poised, well judged. But as you're turning off, a heavy shadow goes across the moon, moving very fast.
Ooh. Like a bat?
You'd like that.
It's like a bat. Tell me it's like a bat.
It's like a bat, isn't it? That's what you say to yourself.
A big bat. Very big.
I mean,
bat.
you just managed to keep control of the car onto the turnoff, but all of the confidence that you were feeling begins to evaporate, even with these trees, and you begin to get the sensation that maybe you're just trading one wild open expanse for another wild, dense, opaque, intense place. It's not an expanse in that sense, but it's the way. It is the wave of the forest begins to express itself, and your mind just starts to think, was it a bat? But surely it was too far away to be. Well, how could I have seen it moving across the moon?
Can I do a natural world roll?
Yes, you could.
To think about what I know.
Yeah, let's do a natural world.
It might be in this part of the world, whether there's anything which it could be. Maybe an owl, a large owl.
Commissioner Gordon.
Maybe a flying cow.
Flying cow.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, I failed that natural world roll.
We do know about the flying cow, don't we?
One thing you are absolutely sure of is there's no such thing as flying cows.
That's what Cappy.
Yeah, exactly.
What does Cappy say?
Or is there?
Because there's also one thing that you are absolutely sure of, isn't there, Chuck Lohman? That you saw something once, up high in the clouds. A shape, or a surface, or a lack of surface, or a lightlessness, and that preys on you in this moment, just as this last building on the left is looming, and these dark encroaching woods are gathering all around you, and those pine trees are beckoning for you to go in deeper and deeper. But you're absolutely sure that you know that there is something of the other world, and you look at your companions and you wonder if they know that too, as you go deeper into the dark.